Media use is on the rise, and as children get older, their consumption increases. One study revealed that teens reported spending over 1/3 of their time each week using media. Media is embedded with advertising, and not just TV. DVDs, video games, MP3 players, cell phones, and more. Pioneer media analyst and feminist activist Jean Kilbourne states that the average American is bombarded with approximately 3,000 advertisements every day. Sut Jelly, founder of Media Education Foundation, contends advertising is a very powerful form of social communication in modern society. Indeed, Kilbourne claims that although advertisements are designed to sell products, they also sell ideals, values, and normalcy. Gender roles in advertisements are divided up and labeled masculine and feminine, and then constantly repeated, thus creating stereotypes, a generalization about a group of people in which identical characteristics are assigned to virtually all members of the group. In North America, advertising codes masculinity as assertive, serious, strong, powerful, and independent. In contrast, femininity is depicted as passive, sexy, beautiful, thin, and dependent. The constant flow of these images normalizes gender role stereotypes. Moreover, in advertisements, women are portrayed in a sexual manner and are objectified more than men. However, recently, scholars have found that men too are increasingly being sexualized and objectified in the media. Sexual objectification in advertisements encompasses the singling out, magnifying of, and/or dismemberment of a person's body parts. For instance, a model's breasts, buttocks, and legs may be narrowed in on, hyperfocused, and/or cropped out. Another way humans are objectified in advertisements is when they are treated as or resemble objects themselves. Consider the following ads. Now, what is most disturbing about this ad is the use of a mannequin to represent a female's body. This sends a message to the audience, young girls and women, that their bodies are merely objects, and moreover, failure of achieving the ideal body is inevitable. Representations of sexual objectification and gender roles in advertising are intrinsically tied to power dynamics in society today. As we have seen, it is clear that men and women are sexually objectified to sell products. However, it is important to note that images of men being used as objects are hard to find. This implies that there are different standards of objectification for men and women. When men are sexually objectified in ads, the message of strength and power is still conveyed by the hyperfocus of muscles and upper body. In contrast, women are portrayed as objects of sexual desire for men. This is conveyed by focusing in on sexual characteristics, emphasis on the breasts and lower body, in products primarily targeted towards men. The body language of women in ads is passive, which portrays them as being weak and dependent on men. Furthermore, men are commonly portrayed as big and strong and hovering over women, whereas women are shown as thin and fragile and literally underneath men. This accentuates notions of male dominance. The dominant script for romance in ads is heterosexual relationships. Moreover, a woman is seen as incomplete without a man. This is often portrayed by the woman's body language, for example, leaning in on men. Also, the message is clear that to attract a man, one has to be beautiful and sexy. In result, a woman's tool of power in society becomes her looks. These findings support the male-dominated, male-identified, and male-centered patriarchal society of Western mainstream culture. So, what's wrong with a little objectification? Research reveals that exposure to sexualization of women in the media is connected to depression, low self-esteem, disordered eating, substance abuse, and stronger endorsement of rigid gender roles. Sexual objectification can also lead to self-objectification. This occurs when men or women internalize objectification messages as part of their self-worth, and as a result constantly scrutinize themselves and others with unreal standards. Research specific to men found that sexual objectification can promote the development of a faulty understanding of how to build connections with women, and lead men to perceive women as one-dimensional entities whose only purpose is to gratify their sexual desires. In addition, tolerating sexual objectification has been found to increase a woman's anger, disgust, and distrust towards men as a group. Kilborn also claims that turning a person into an object is the first step to justifying violence towards them. Sexual objectification not only devalues a human being, it also disrupts the very relationships that are essential to being human. The most innate human desire is to belong and to be loved. Although advertising may reflect real needs and desires or fantasies in people, they also give us a false sense of attaining such desires. The use of sex and people's body parts to sell products trivializes intimacy and normalizes objectification. Jelly contends what is needed is not monitoring of individual images, but a restructuring of the total system of images so that sexuality can be separated from objectification and objectification can be separated from patriarchal power. Now, what can you do? Gender role stereotypes are so ingrained in our popular culture media that the images we see day in and day out reinforce a prominent belief that gender relations are a natural creation rather than a socially constructed one. The only way to become your own authentic being is to start critically analyzing what you do, why you do it, and also start making choices that are genuine and free of the influence of the media.
Welcome the sun, the clouds and rain, the wind that sweeps the sky clean and lets the sun shine again. This is the most magnificent life has ever been. Here is heaven and earth and the brilliant sky in between. Blessed is this life.